Hello everybody and welcome to the next episode of We Go On. Today we are coming from a very special place. We're coming from the nation's capital. This morning we got up, caught an early but not too early flight, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't too early. Made our way over to Washington D.C. and had some lunch over at Uno's. And then we made our walk over here after we picked up the rental car as well. So today we're gonna just do a little bit of sightseeing, and then we have a sunset tour this afternoon that we're gonna take everybody on. But for now, we're here at the Capitol, and we've also got the National Mall going the other direction. But for now, hey, let's get started.
Let's go.
All right, so we took some pictures at the Capitol. How about this really awkward moment here where we're the only people in front of the Capitol? Like, that's kind of cool, huh? You got the Capitol to yourself? And now we are making our walk over to the Washington Monument. The big part of that is just so the girls get an understanding of, it's far. Everything looks close, but it's far. Right, Jasmine?
Yeah. It looks really close, but like right now, like we just started walking and I can't see. Mostly because of the trees, but it still looks really far.
Yeah, we are doing our best to stay in the shade because it's a balmy 92 degrees right now, but
It's not that bad.
it's not that bad.
Things.
Yeah, it's not that bad in the shade, and it is better than Vegas where it was 115 and you could feel the heat coming off the ground.
And every time the wind blew, it was not cold breeze. It was like a really hot breeze.
That's also true. The breeze is at least a little cool.
It was a booty breeze.
It was a booty breeze. So we're on our way over there. Should take another few minutes, but we're gonna keep on trekking. All right, we've got a glimpse of the finish line, peeking out over those trees. All right, 11 minutes to go. 11 minutes to go. All right, I think we're gonna take a small detour and try to go into the museum, or the National Museum of Natural History. I'm gonna go in there for a few minutes, cool off, see some things. Does that work? All right, let's do that. All right, so we're close to our goal, but we did say we were gonna take it slow today, and it's 90 some odd degrees. So we're gonna hop into the Natural Museum of Natural History, see what there is. There you go, right inside the door we got some elephants. Now, we know like NATO's in town, so other stuff may be happening, but let's go check out some of the oceans. All right, you wanna do mammals, ocean hall, or fossil hall? Fossil, ocean, mammals.
Fossils. What did you want? Mammals.
Mammals?
Yeah.
All right, mammals it is.
Up there we have a flying squirrel and a lot of different animals, which I'm not going to name. A rabbit. There's a lot. Armandai. There's a tiger right there. And then some more animals. Cheetah is up there. Look, a big rhino. And what are these things called again? I don't remember. What are these things called again?
Armadillo.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Chinese pangolin?
That looks like that's kind of big. It doesn't even fit in my camera. Oh, now it does. Okay. And we have another lion and some more girl lions. That's man. It's really cool because they kind of look real. Like, look, I thought that was real for a second. Like, that doesn't really look real, but that, I thought that was real for a second. So, it very looks real in here. That did not make any sense, but it looks, the animals look super real in here. Oh, look at that! That's cute. And what is that? Mouse? Oh. These are really cute though. It looks like a dog. scary. Okay, so you know how I was saying that they look real? It's probably because they got preserved. So they are probably real. That's so cutesy. So what I was saying is, you could touch a real cheetah or a lion. And this would show them what your face was. Her face was like this.
What's that?
What did you just say that name was?
I mean, it's Gunther's Dyke Dyke? It's either that or Gunther's Dick Dick. Like,
Okay, you might have to edit
I mean, look at it. Look at what's called. I mean, you tell me what that thing is.
I think it's the first one. I think it's the second one. Yeah, because you like backwards. I'm just kidding. Guys, we found a monkey from the planet of the apes.
These are all kind of cute little
Okay, wait. Oh, that's weird. Oh, those are big. What?
skunk. Oh, small skunk.
Yeah, they kind of hurt you. Australia, mate.
South America?
Oh, you know koalas are dying? Bad animal, bad. Oh, these are so cute. The red foxes.
That was right there. That was the look Mickey would have when y'all would get up in her face. This looked like.
That looks like a rabbit.
What the heck is a wallaby?
Look,
There's a child inside. Did you just realize?
The pouch.
That's
Yeah.
a umbilical cord.
That's weird. That's the pouch. Ah,
The island?
that's scary.
Island?
Let's see. Wow, my hand. Ugh, that feels weird. I don't like that. My hand's a bit big. Ah, bunny. And these are cute too. Oh my god. It's gonna eat you guys. Raccoons are cute, yeah, I agree. That's scary. That's creepy. Just kidding, it's cute. It's an otter. It's an otter. It's so cute. I love otters.
And here we have a lovely brown bear.
Oh, look at the wolf.
Oh, yep, and we got wolves over behind it. Let's go take a look at the wolf. Here we got the wolf accompanied by the girls howling.
Oh no! Oh.
You were howling. Yeah, you were.
How? What? Ow, my
You
ear
did.
just popped. Oh.
All right, let's keep moving. Jasmine has found the big brain section where they're coming to examine what big brains look like. You see anything about a big brain? Does it look normal? Oh, you putting the skull back together?
Yeah.
Okay, just like that. That's simple. So while we're here, it's actually the NATO summit. So I'm guessing they had some delegates there considering there's a red carpet. Everything for today seems to be over. We just had a couple motorcades go by. But we finished up with the Natural Museum of Natural History. And we are continuing our path to the Washington Monument, which is gonna be right over those trees. So yeah, we got 7 minutes till we're there.
Yep, so we're gonna go straight and
We're going.
440 and 30 feet each turn.
Okay, so Janelle's our navigator. So we've got a few hundred feet and then we're gonna make a turn. But we're getting there. Now, Buzz, where are we?
The monument?
What's it called? You've been trekking this thing down, you can't remember the
The
name?
Washington Monument.
The Washington Monument.
AKA where Spider-Man climbs in.
AKA where Spider-Man climbs up. All right, well let's go all the way up there if we can. So,
Up there in the building?
well, all the
No.
way up to the
You
building.
need a ticket.
So in total, it probably took us about an hour to make the actual walk with a stop. So not too bad, but it is 90 some odd degrees. As you'll notice, we're walking up this grass path right now because it's the shaded part. And we saw the people doing it and thought, oh, that's a way better idea. Well, there are some other ways up. There's actual pathways. Probably disrespectful walking the grass, but here we are. I don't know. So let's walk on up there. So So we just realized there's where we started earlier. So it's a little bit windy, which is nice because it may be hard to hear, but that's right. We can do this. And we stopped in the museum. What's that? Yeah, and Jasmine doesn't feel good. So we were going to slow. You could do it faster, but still a good haul. So the reaction I just heard was holy crap as they went up to the wall and looked up. Scary? It's just up.
Yeah, it's better make you do what I can.
That's right. The whip. And up the wall. Alright, so from the other side you have the reflection pool, the Lincoln Memorial, and tucked over there in the corner, just past those flags and in between the trees, is the White House. So we kind of made it to the central point, and I know there's some other memorials in between there, and I don't exactly know what they all are, so I don't want to get them wrong, but we're looking out on this side towards the Lincoln Memorial, and just taking it all in. What do you think about DC so far, Nellies?
It's definitely one.
How much about that? Yeah, I tried, right? It is greener than Las Vegas. What do you think so far?
I like it.
You like it? Kind of cool to be in the nation's capital?
Yeah.
Brown.
And it's cool because I just finished 7th grade and like we just talked about almost like
You know, I
the
don't know
House of
what's really
Representatives.
Yeah, it is. I will say it's interesting that to see like the difference in grades, that you know what this stuff is and you have no clue what some of it is. Like, it's very interesting what you learned in those 2 years. But yeah, it's all about America around here, right? Minus the Canadian embassy that we saw.
What you hear is obviously the wind, but there's also, we think, 50 flags
Yeah, the black flags, and I'm sorry, it is really windy. We're just using the camera today because DC has some weird rules about cameras and what you can and can't take, so we're just taking the phone. But yeah, got flags surrounding it. Oh, hello. Yes, ma'am? Oh, okay, there's more.
And Daddy said from there to that one, it's the halfway point. Like, what? That's
Yeah, we're only
so
halfway
far.
to the Lincoln Memorial from the other side, so it is a 5. I mean, it's a 5K. It's not bad. It'd be better if it wasn't this hot. Like, but other than that, it's fine. So, all right, we're gonna soak this in for a few more minutes and then start making our way back for our tour. You saw electric scooters. We can take scooters. We can take buses. There's a lot of different ways. We'll have to figure out the scooters. I don't know, kiddo. We may have to just do one of the buses. Okay?
You look and then that's a lot
We'll
of
see.
flags.
So we've got a motorcade of some sort going by. I can't tell if it's ours or not. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of cars though, and there's still more coming. I don't know.
Guys, just jump off. Just jump off. Oh my god.
Alright, so we're currently sitting on this hillside right here with the Washington Monument somewhere in the background over there. I don't see it, but trust me, it's there. We're waiting on the DC Circular, which is a bus that does go around the monument malls and things like that for supposedly $1. But when we asked the lady where to go, she's like, well, you just go down here and make a left. But the reliability is kind of interesting. So it's supposed to be every 10 to 15 minutes. We'll see how that goes. It does look like one is on its way. But for right now, we're just sitting on the hillside. We decided it'd be better to sit and wait and possibly be tired, possibly be rushed for time versus rushing all the way there and be tired and hot and miserable. So we're gonna see how this works out. But there does appear to be one on its way, but it may be a few minutes.
also doesn't board until like 7.
Yeah, we've got time.
We just
So-
want to get there early because we want the rooftop.
We hate waiting. That's our biggest problem. We hate sitting somewhere
The
waiting.
gift shop too. This is what I got.
Yeah.
It's a little Washington D.C. shirt.
And I got a little tower of the Washington Monument. I did want to open it, but there's kind of, there's
foam in there, and it's gonna go everywhere if I open it. And I'm not trying to rip the box because we still have to travel with this home. Because I've ripped the box opening a lot of stuff, but I kind of can't do that right now because we have to travel with it to New York and then back home. So.
Yep, she got a t-shirt, she got a monument, I got to pay for it. America.
Okay, so we have been sitting here for like, how long do you think?
We've been here a good 30 minutes.
Yeah, and the bus just is at the Lincoln Memorial.
Oh, just do you.
Oh. So it's probably gonna be like another 10 minutes, which we did not prepare for it to be that long of a wait. We thought it was just gonna go around and come here in like 5 or 10 or 15 minutes, but nope. So let's keep waiting. And we saw a helicopter that we think might have been the president, like, because it goes around either the president's in there or not. They just do it. But we think that one was the president because that was a lot of cop cars, and normally there's not a lot of cop cars just for like other people that need, like celebrities or something. I don't know. We're just learning that. But we think because it was also going to the White House. So yeah. Well, let's keep waiting.
Alright, so we made it onto the big red bus for the Sunset Tour. The girls are sitting behind me. Right now they've got their headphones in and they're listening to music, but overall we're just on the top deck of the bus, waiting for everybody to load. I got about 3 more minutes. It's a nice cool breeze. And we're getting ready to go. Alright, what do you guys think so far?
So I thought we were going to get a good spot, honestly, so I was like running to get here. It's cool that they give you headphones, but maybe because like they talk in your ear instead of like announcing it to the whole bus, just so you can look and you're not worrying about someone talking. But it is cool. They did have music playing, but I think it stopped because we're about to go. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. What do you think, Jasmine?
It's good. We're getting nice air conditioning up here, which is nice.
Yeah, it is nice. Alright, I think we're about getting ready to go here. So we had a bit of a bus change, bus scramble, but we ended up in roughly the same seats, and now we are on our way. So let's go. Okay, this is with the Big Bus Washington D.C. Sunset Tour. So although this is normally a hop-on, hop-off bus, the Sunset Tour is specific to getting on the bus and actually driving past a lot of the monuments. So we started off at Union Station and then made our way over to the U.S. Capitol. And while we're riding the bus, there's actually narration that's going in our ears through the headsets that you saw the girls and I wearing a little bit earlier. So it's giving us a little bit of history about the buildings, what's going on, fascinating stories behind them. Now, if you're just trying to see the monuments, I actually really enjoyed this tour. You know, we go by the Capitol, we go by the Botanical Gardens, which you see here. There's the Native American Museum. There's a lot of museums that you don't necessarily know are there, but it does drive you by them. This is the Native American Museum right here, which is a fantastic design, and they explain a little bit about the design and how the building came to be. Here's some of the crops that were there. So all in all, it's kind of a good tour for things you didn't know. I didn't know Franklin Delano Roosevelt had a monument, which is right here. That's actually something that we saw a couple times just as we walked through. Here we have the National Air and Space Museum, which we'll be going to in the next couple days, so stay tuned to future videos for that, as we'll show what that visit was like. And here we're going past just some more museums. They're explaining a little bit more about them. This one I always named wrong. It's not the Hiroshima, it's the I don't know. I'm not going to butcher it. But it's another art museum. And you'll notice as we go through some of these videos, we actually stop at an art museum. We stop at the Met in New York. And I'm glad I waited for that to be the girls' first art exhibit because it was an interesting adventure nonetheless. But you'll see that in some upcoming videos. Here we just continue going by more of the monuments, but we're about to make a turn and head over across the Potomac towards Arlington Cemetery, the Iwo Jima statue. This one was interesting because I didn't even know this was a thing. It's the Department of Agriculture buildings, and there's more than one. And I think you forget when you don't, live in farmland territory that it's a massive building. Takes a lot of infrastructure, but that's what that building was back there. You'll notice again, you don't really get off and on the tour, so you do have to come back to these. We actually come back to this. This is the Holocaust Museum, so we're visiting there the next day. So again, stay tuned for future videos of what's on inside there. But if you don't know a lot of these places exist, this was a good tour for that. Or if you're limited on time, just to go and see what is around the city, just visually recognize some things. And the narration that was with it was good. Again, they're explaining the agriculture buildings right here, and you didn't realize how big that building was. It was actually the largest building, I think they said, until the Pentagon came along. So just some more history there. This is the Thomas Jefferson Museum, which is a little hard to get to if you're just touring Washington, so that was nice. We actually didn't get a chance to really get close to that one again. And here we are crossing over the Potomac. I think the girls were enjoying themselves. You can kind of see the headphones we have on there that are just explaining everything as we go. You do get stuck in DC traffic. So one of the things we learned as we were relating on the bus to take us over here was that traffic is a little bit bad, but you're covered on this bus tour, so it's not too bad. We also drove across from the Pentagon, which was actually really neat for me because it's the first time I had seen it.
My teacher worked there once.
Yep, Janelle had a teacher that actually was in the Pentagon during September 11th. So it was nice for her because, as we mentioned before, Janelle didn't really fully know the history of all of this because she just hasn't got there in school for a lot of this. And I think she was excited for the Pentagon because it made some of it real. We also drove by Arlington Cemetery and the Iwo Jima statue. We did not go into Arlington. That was pretty much the closest we got, was right there as we drove by. And one of the things that's over here, which is a really funny story. So Brian Bean and I, my college roommate and friend, back when we were in college, we decided for spring break we were going to go to Washington, D.C. and New York City. And we thought the Iwo Jima statue was located inside Arlington. So this fence right here that we were just looking at, we actually got trapped inside Arlington Cemetery because the hours of operation had closed and all the guards were gone. So this gate right here was locked and there wasn't anybody to let us out. So since we still wanted to see the statue and we were technically locked inside Arlington, we actually jumped this fence right here, just climbed the fence and hopped over. So that's kind of a funny story that I have about Washington, D.C. and cemeteries in general, is getting locked inside Arlington Cemetery. Right here, I'm just sort of explaining how the tour is good. It is actually, the camera's picking it up because it was starting to get a little bit dark because, again, this is supposed to be a sunset tour. But, it was a good chance to kind of see everything up close and really experience Washington, D.C. for what it was. We're going to make our way back into, actually, I'm sorry, not back into, but we're on the Francis Scott Key Bridge right here. And again, they're talking about who Francis Scott Key was and the national anthem and all that. But we started to get some rain coming in. So this is one of the things with this bus that was kind of interesting, is it was covered and we weren't wet, but because you're at the mercy of the wind, there were times we were getting drenched.
To get wet. It is raining.
I mean, it's not horrible.
When we drive.
Yeah, that what they did hit a little bit hard there a couple times. Yeah. And we're constantly dodging tree branches too, so it's exciting. Here we make our way into Georgetown, which I actually didn't know was right here. I'd never seen a Doc Martens store before, so that's just why I recorded that. But they're doing a good job kind of explaining the history of the city, the history of the college, the history of why the buildings are the way they were, and who lived there, and who came to Georgetown. I can't say I remember it at all, because it started to just pour everywhere, and it started to be a little bit of a distraction. As you can see, people are starting to move over. I was enjoying it, except for when the bus would stop. And then the water would trickle over the right and directly into my seat. So there were some people, I think, that were complaining a little bit, but you don't get cool rainbows like this without the rain associated with it. So we did get a rainbow over Washington, D.C. over the Washington Monument. I believe here in a minute we actually get a picture of it going straight towards the Jefferson Memorial. So at this point, everybody was a little bit wet. Some people were a little bit miserable, but I was still having a good time. The girls were still having a good time. All right, so we got a brief pause for a minute. We got 10 minutes off. There are the girls up there on our top deck. Look at them just hanging out up there, trying to stay dry. They didn't want to get wet. Janelle looks like a wet little rat up there. But this is a bus, so look, this tour was $56 and like $48 for Janelle since she was under the age of 12. The only thing we are going to miss out on is going by the White House today because NATO's in town, so everything's kind of blocked off. But they stopped here for a few minutes because I guess for a lot of people their hotels are actually closer to this area, whereas for us we actually parked at Union Station, so we're going to ride the bus with a group of people back. But so far, been good. We did get soaking wet. I'm really, really wet, but it worked out. It's not too hot. We got a nice cool little rainbow over, and we've actually stopped just right outside the Lincoln Memorial. We talked about trying to make it, but it's only 10 minutes and there's construction and a nice ramp. So we're right outside the Lincoln Memorial, but don't think there's a way that we get back in time. So we're just hanging out here until we make our way back. But it's rainy, but it's not hot. So in the south, take your pick. You can either be hot or you can be a little bit rainy. We'll take a little bit rainy. All right, I'm gonna hop back on and attempt to dry out a little bit. What you think, girls? What do you think? Okay, good. I can't hear you. Okay, see you in a second. So, as we were heading back, we left from the Lincoln Memorial, and we are now over near the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial, as well as the Korean War memorials. So we're nearby those. It was a little hard to see through the trees, and we do make our way back over there in the next few days. And you also have the Lincoln, I'm sorry, not the Lincoln Memorial. You have the Jefferson Memorial across the waterway over there. Our bus did kind of our bus did get to the point where about half the people left. I think maybe some of them were just wet. I think some of them were tired and maybe didn't fully understand, or they did walk over there. It was really kind of unclear. The bus driver kind of made it feel like you wanted to get off there, but we parked at Union Station, so we didn't want that. But there's the Jefferson Memorial, really cool. Still has the rainbow above it. And then, as I was kind of saying before I started talking back there, one of the nice things that did work out to our advantage, because the White House was blocked off, and we backtracked, a lot of the stuff that was out the left side of the bus on the way out was now on the right side of the bus on the way back in. So some of this stuff we had actually already seen before, but we were on the opposite side of the bus. I don't know if it normally does that. So I would recommend, if you're in pairs of people, somebody take one side of the bus, somebody take the other, so that you kind of get good pictures of everything, especially if you're on limited time. For us, we knew we were going to come back to a lot of these buildings over the next few days while we were in Washington, so it wasn't a giant deal that we didn't get great pictures of everything. But I would definitely recommend first doing this tour, and then second, if you can, split the sides of the bus, especially if you're trying to take some pictures. If you're just in it to ride together and you don't really care about the pictures, then either side is perfectly fine. And like I said, one of the things that was missed for us was the White House. We could not go in front of that because there was quite a bit of security with NATO in town. So just here we're reiterating some of the stuff that we'd seen before. This is the Franklin D. Roosevelt Memorial. Again, I like to be a history buff and a history nerd, and I looked up Washington D.C. and never saw anything about that. So we did make it over there. All in all, I would highly recommend this tour for anybody that wants to see Washington all in one shot, or just as an overview. I mean, I love the fact that we had a chance to see it before we kind of got into the weeds of some of the museums and some of the locations. And I think it helped put things into perspective, especially for the girls who had never really been there, to understand things are not close by. Plus, you know, at sunset, Washington, D.C. is very beautiful. So really recommend this tour. All right, girls, so you just got off the Big Red Bus Sunset Tour. What'd you think?
I personally loved it, except for when it started raining. You know, kind of got a bit wet there. But then me and Jasmine switched when we had like a 10-minute break to use the
I think. My bad. I keep switching the
And
microphone.
what was cool is they gave you headphones and
now we can
yeah, and also you got to listen to
Are you
like
waving to the bus?
you also got to like hear what the building was about and what happened, like the Pentagon. Okay, my teacher once worked there, and when the
Pentagon.
yeah, and when the plane crashed, she heard the whole boom happen, and the smoke got there really quick, and a girl needed to help get out of the window, but she couldn't. So my teacher helped her get out, and she survived.
That's true. Yeah.
But
I
there
don't
was
have any heroic stories like that.
No, but I think it's really cool for you guys to actually see some of this stuff, right?
I do
Like,
know that my civics teacher was here, and she said that, because I told her that I really loved history, she said I would love this place.
and do you love it so far?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, it's very
I
cool.
would live here,
and it was really sad how much people died in just that one spot. Like
Yeah.
that was like thousands of graves.
Well, and I think it does a good job of just like the history. Like that's one really cool thing about this city is every corner you turn, there's history somewhere. You just got to look for it, and that's what's interesting. Even if you don't know a lot about it now, Bells.
Okay, that tour was really fun though.
All right, good. So
The
I think
tour.
that's going to wrap it up for day one. We're going to head over to Denisha and Greg's house and see some family. But tomorrow,
And maybe dry off it.
yeah, we got to dry off a little bit. Everybody's a little
I'm
bit
sorry,
wet.
but the sunset is so gorgeous right now.
Yeah, I mean, this
It smells like corn out here.
corn. That's the smell of America. Yeah, I don't know what that was. But yeah, the sunset part was really nice. I'd have to say, I think I'd rather do that than the hop on, hop off tour.
Yeah.
Because like I've read some reviews and said it was okay, but as far as just like the value of it, I thought it was really good.
Really weird. Why did we have like a stop right before we got finished?
Because we don't normally stop. They don't normally stop on that tour. Normally you go see the White House during that time.
But because the
NATO.
NATO is here in town.
Oh, so
Yeah.
so that part would have been the.
Yes, we would have gone to the White House. You actually could see it for like 30 seconds at one point when we were driving down Pennsylvania Avenue. But they weren't talking about it.
For 10 minutes because we would have been out the White House for
Yeah.
like 10 minutes.
Yeah, we would have gone that way. So I think that's going to do it for day one. It's been kind of a long day. We were in Orlando earlier today, and we've spent all day here. So we're going to head out of there, and tomorrow we will open the day. What is tomorrow, the Holocaust? Is that what I said? All right, so we're going to start tomorrow with the
Probably
Holocaust
won't
Museum.
record.
We'll talk about some of it, but we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.